What's up, people? In this video, I'm going to show you how to use spaces inside of Freepik. Let's go. All right, so you got your browser here. And if you're familiar with the AI video and image generation tools, I'm sure you've heard of Freepik. You can get an account for pretty cheap. And when you have one of their plans, you do get unlimited image generation. They even have a 4K model, Dream 4 4K. But in this video, we're going to show you how to use the spaces feature, which is relatively new. So come into your AI suite and we've got spaces. And now this is one of the node-based platforms that are becoming super popular based off of like N8N, things like that, where you can automate workflows. So you can test out some of their templates. They're pretty cool. They can get you started. Definitely mess around with those. I'm going to show you how to create a new space. You've got all these different types of nodes. So just like N8N, you have nodes and connectors between them. So the goal is to make a automatable workflow using different image models, different video models, LLMs for text. Well, you can start this workflow off any way you want with your own media. You can use things from the community. There's also stock photos, images, illustrations, lots of different things to choose from there. We're going to start this one off with a text. So very simple. This is just, your text prompt. One cool thing about spaces is you can change the color here. So once you have a lot of nodes going on, you can easily identify things with the color coordination here. You can also add comments to a workflow. So if you're sending this to someone else and they want to add some comments onto it, you can click here and just be like, this needs work, and then this will be attached here, so you can see my name here saying that we need to work on this. So that's one cool thing for collaborating with others. And let's select off of this here. I can close it. Okay, I can give a reaction to it. Got it, chief. Now how do I resolve it? Check mark. Resolving. Boom. So it goes away by resolving it. So you gotta reply to the comment. Anyways, and you can zoom out, in and out on a Mac by holding the command button and then dragging with your mouse or your trackpad. And then selection tool, you can select whatever nodes you have. Hand tool, you can grab it, drag it around. You can do that with this one too, but the hand tool I think is more for dragging the screen around. Yeah, so selection tool, if you have multiple nodes, you can select them all like that. So let's start this off here. Create an image of a chicken inside the house grabbing some milk from the fridge. So, and this is just purely text, so I'm not sure why you would want it bold or format or numbered. Basically, you can just make it however you want the LLM to understand, because it's going to be going into an image generator. You could also go straight to video, but the way you add another node is you just right click, and then you've got all these different options. So you can upload from your local machine. You can use media that's already within your Freepik suite. I don't think you can do text to text. I don't know why you would ever do that. Yeah, there's no way to input here. I guess you can, huh? Oh no, you can't. Can you? I don't know why you would be able to. Oh, it's saying these are my options. So it gives you like recommended options when you're dragging from this one. So like, see how there's a little thing here. This is the text output. When you drag it into empty space, it will present the most likely options that you're going to want to have. So straight to an image generator, straight to a video generator, or assistant. So this one's free to use. It doesn't cost you any credits, and it allows you to optimize your prompt to kind of refine it a little bit more. And you can also add a reference image to this if you want to use your assistant to create video generation. So you can add your text prompt along with the reference image. It will look at the text and the reference and develop a optimized prompt for those. Let's just say optimize the prompt for a cinematic hyper realistic image. Yeah, let's just do that. Settings. So if you click settings here, you can change the model. Right now I'm only seeing 4.1 mini and 5 mini. Let's up it to 5 mini, why not? And the system prompt you can add here. You don't have to, but let's just see what happens when I don't do it. So it's preparing request and thinking. I think the 4.1 mini is just gonna be faster, so that's why it's the default, and you might prefer it to just go a little faster. For this task, probably the 4.1 mini would be fine. Wow, so it spit out this pretty long prompt here. Cinematic hyper-realistic scene of a domestic chicken inside of a modern kitchen, reaching into an open refrigerator to grab a carton of milk. The chicken stands upright on tiptoe on a tiled floor, one wing bracing on the fridge shelf, its claw and beak gripping a slightly tilted milk carton with a tiny droplet of milk at the corner. Okay, this is extremely detailed. 8K resolution, hyper-real, cinematic, studio quality, photorealism. All right, so you can either copy this, take it to another tab where you have an image generator, whatever. When you highlight a node, it'll show these little icons on the side to where it will allow for an input as well as an output from left to right. So you're gonna grab this little icon for the text. Actually, so export result. I don't know why you would export result. Not sure exactly what that's for, but basically you're going to want to send this to an image generator. So let's just pull that up. And Seedream 4K is one of the best models right now, so we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with 16:9. Make sure you set the aspect ratio, and we're gonna max this out. Can we? Oh my god, 10? You can do 10? Okay, I don't really... Let's just do 4. So yeah, now we can drag this over to the text input. Boom, and then those are linked. And I guess, yeah, let's just run it, see what happens. You can see we've got 4 going here. So imagine if we did 10, we'd have a big old list of them going at once. I really like the animation they have here around the images. The generation. You can color code these, pretty sure. Can you not? So I guess you can't color code the assistant. Anyways, here's our images. Wow, look at that chicken. That's hilarious. Okay, which one do I like the best? That one's pretty good. I think I like this one. This one's kind of like the most realistic. Maybe the wing is the foot. Okay, I guess. Dang. Yeah, they all have their flaws. Oh well. Anyways, you can take this and you can either upscale it, or you can use another image generator, and then this is going to be like your edit. So if you wanted to use Google Nano Banana, change the model there, make sure you set the aspect ratio. Let's just give it 2 outputs. How many can you do? 10 is crazy. That's crazy that you can do that. So we'll just go 2. So we want this to be our input, and then so you can either have a text node that comes from, you can make a new one, or you can have this original feed into it, but you can also just like add text right here. So change the milk to can of beer. Sweet. So once you have an image that you like, it's got this beer here, and then you can make it into a video. Let's just do that really quick. We can use, so you pick the model here. You can have it do auto. I don't recommend that. If you're a beginner, I suppose you can do that, but get familiar with these different models and try them out, and maybe watch some videos on the breakdowns of each. But currently the best ones are VO 3.1, Sora 2 is popular, Kling 2.1 and 2.5, Wan 2.5, and then Minimax 2.3. Those are the best right now, in my opinion. So we're just going to use VO 3.1, and keep in mind they do all have different credit usage. So the way that you see that is you highlight this, so it's going to cost 1,600 credits. And I'm not sure why this happens, but on Freepik, when you want sound effects for 3.1, it bumps it up to 2,400 credits. So if you want to save credits, you can turn sound effects off and just generate those elsewhere. But let's describe what we want. for the video. The chicken cracks open the beer and pours into its mouth while it ducks underneath it. So we'll see what happens there. You can set the duration. Let's do 6 seconds. That obviously bumps it up to 2400. But let's just keep it at 4 seconds. Keep that 1600 going. See how that turns out. Shoot, I forgot to add this as my input. Dang it. So that takes about 3 minutes. It's not going to be this because I accidentally ran it without connecting the image. But basically, inside of Spaces on Freepik, it's pretty basic, you know. The magic is going to be where you set your system prompts and like how well you articulate what you want, so you can create desired workflows. Definitely Spaces is currently somewhat limited as far as these node-based editors go, but you do have all the basics. So, oh my god, so this is what it came up with. Pretty funny, I guess. So let's just run like a cheaper model and see what happens. Not all of them allow a reference image, I'm pretty sure, like Cdance 1, Cling. And so you see how there's multiple here. So with Cling 2.1, you're allowed to do a start frame and an end frame. So you can put your start frame here, and if you do have an end frame where you want this scene to end, you would drag that image to connect right there. And like I said, this text node is more so for when you want to automate things. So if you're just using this for editing for fun, or you know, just working, you can just text right here and not have to bother with adding a node. That's more for when you're trying to automate things. And so I'm just trying to find like a cheap model so I don't waste credits. And I want to see if, do all of these allow for a input image? It seems like they do. Runway, I've never used Runway yet. Pixverse, well, seems like they all do. Okay, well, let's just see which one's the least amount of credits. 600, Minimax, 1.6, Cling 300. Cheapest so far. Runway Gen 4 is 500, so Cling 1.6 is in the lead for cheapest. 1300 for Pixverse. Cling 2.0, 1400. Okay, interesting. 1.6 is still in the lead. 1.6 Pro gonna be 500. So 1.6 standard for Cling is the cheapest so far. Google VO 2000. Cdance 1.0 Lite 600. Google VO 3 Fast, that's gonna be more expensive. 800. Wow, okay. I guess they got 3.1 now, so that VO3 got cheaper. 1600 for regular VO3. WAN 2.2, 250. All right, that's the lead now. All right, WAN 2.2 is the cheapest on credits. 2.1 master for Cling, 1400. Minimax 2.3 fast, 840. Helio 02, 990. Such an odd number. Cdance 1.0 fast, 1500. Cdance 1.0 pro, 2100. WAN 2.5, 3200. Wow. Helio 2.3, 1200. Cling 2.1, 700. Cling 2.5, 500. Sora 2 Pro, 8000. 8000. That's definitely the most expensive. Sora 2 regular, 1600. I wonder what the difference is. I'm not balling like that, so can't tell you guys. 2400. All right, so obviously we're gonna go with WAN 2.2 for a cool 250 credits. And then the second place was Cling 1.6. So let's rerun it and see what we get. All right, so here's our output here. That's not bad, honestly, for the cheapest video generator on the Freepik market. It is only 720p. That's the maximum you can do here. They don't have video upscaler in Spaces yet, but I'm sure that will come at some point. Let's go back. So this is our video output. This is our image that we wanted after editing. So basically you can, here, let's just delete all these ones that we didn't use. Here's our text to image. Here's our image edit. So before your video generation, you can also do an image upscaler. So I believe they just have Magnific, yeah, which is, you know, one of the best image upscalers on the market. So you can do precision mode or creative mode, and creative will be, you know, it'll change the the image slightly, so it won't look like the same person necessarily if you're doing a person. So if you want to maintain character consistency, you're going to want to use precision. And then they have 2 modes under precision, or 3 modes actually: balanced, portrait, and grainy analog. That's going to be if you want it to look grainy, like a old, 90s, 80s photograph. So we'll just keep it at balanced. And I found that when you're editing images with Nano Banana, for example, it tends to compress the image and make it a little bit blurry and noisy. So I like to use this photo denoiser, and you can actually see the settings. So this is how much you want to scale it up. So let's just drag this here first, see what happens. So you can see the aspect ratio, or the pixel count here, 1344 by 768. That's pretty low res. It's not going to be our highest quality. So we want more pixels here. If you can see, it's kind of blurry. So we are going to upscale it first. You can either click run here, or you can click regenerate here. But if you click it here, it's going to do whatever's downstream of this. So it will upscale it and do the video. So in order to get rid of a connection, you just click the line itself, and that'll get rid of it. So now we can run it from here, and it will run from here. I guess now you can either do this node only or run from here, and this will upscale. And you can see previous generations in this same node, which is super helpful. All right, looks like it finished here. So let's look at the original one. Double click. You can see a little bit blurry. You can't read the text there. This is the lower resolution, and then this is the newly generated, much higher resolution. You can read the text. The feathers are all, in focus, and you can see the resolution here, 2688 by 1536. So that's going to be much better for when you take it into a video model. So let's just try that, or I guess let's just use our same node that we have here. Let's organize this a little bit so we can easily see things. So the video generator, we'll just use the same prompt, but we'll change the model down to 1.6 cling. See what that comes out to. 16 by 9. Make sure we do the connection like I didn't do last time. And yeah, let's run it. While this is finishing, you can actually change the name of your space here. So we'll just say demo space. And then once you have like a workflow that you like, where things are working, multiple times in a row, and it's sort of like a useful workflow, you can highlight all of it, and then you can arrange it so that it's all compact and tight. Oh my god, here's the video. Okay, you can see why this one is one of the cheaper ones. 2.2 performed a lot better than this Kling 1.6. So WAN 2.2, a little more realistic. The can isn't going crazy with the graphics on it, but this one here, a lot of morphing, a lot of cartoonish animation, very rapid, sudden movements. Either way, so now that you have these things arranged, you can keep clicking arrange and it'll change things up. I honestly don't really like this. I'm not sure what the idea is there, but if you click group, it will highlight everything, and you can change the color so that you can easily see this. So like inside of a space, you can have multiple workflows. This is an infinite canvas, so you can literally, just have a ton of workflows with labels and names and comments, and then you can zoom into them and move things around and edit. So I think this is incredibly useful, and the main benefit is going to be speed, because you have everything here. You have the text optimizing, image generation, upscaling, video generation. So I'm sure they'll add more things like video upscaling, and obviously when new models come out, they'll plug those in. So yeah, I think this is just a super useful platform. Glad that they came out with this. And then you can even duplicate it. Not sure what focus does. I think that just brings it into like the right amount of zoomed out. Yeah, so it'll just line you up like that. download. I wonder what that does. It's gonna save it as something. Let's see what happens. It downloads it as a zip file. Let's see. Okay, so everything that you generated inside of there is gonna download. So that is cool. You can download everything at once. Okay, but it looks like it only downloads whatever you're seeing. So if you have multiple generations, like how we have 2 videos inside of this, actually 3 videos, it's only going to export the one that you see on the screen. So that is super cool. And then you can share this with a teammate, and then they can make comments, and then you can actually see their cursor as they're, exploring things, which is pretty incredible. So yeah, that about does it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll make new videos as they add features, and let me know if you guys have questions or if you want me to dive deeper on any part of this platform, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.